Hello and welcome to episode 9 of the Lottie Albert podcast. My name is Lindsay. I am a crochet designer and editor from the Cotswolds in the UK. This is my podcast all about crochet. I'm going to be talking about new things, finished objects, and things I've been buying. I've also got a giveaway at the end for all you wonderful subscribers, so stick around for that one. I don't know where to start today. I feel like I've got so much to show you and talk about. I suppose I will just start by saying hello and welcome. So if you are a returning viewer, thank you so much, welcome back. And if you are watching this for the first time, then you're very welcome. I hope you enjoy your time with me this morning, or whenever it is you're watching this morning for me. I am wearing, it's not a finished object for this week, but I am wearing my Hob Cowl, which you may have seen before if you watched episode 1. I'd finished this in episode 1. This is the Hotel of Bees shawl by Christina Haddering. Can't really see it as well. I'm wearing it like a scarf, but such a beautiful scarf. That's what I'm wearing. I don't normally do that's what I'm wearing, but I felt like I should wear something crochet today. Ah, am I waffling already? Sorry. Let's just start with my most recent finished object, shall we? It wasn't even a work in progress when I saw you last time. Oh, I'm pulling the wrong thing. This beautiful number is a Crochet Cables hat that I have made. The pattern is by Lakeside Loops. I have decided that Kimberly of Lakeside Loops is just possibly my favourite designer. I love all her patterns. They're all so beautiful. I made her Kenzie kimono cardigan a few weeks ago, and this is the Finley cable hat pattern. You'll see that my pom-pom is not fixed on yet. This is made using a really beautiful wool I was sent by Hobbycraft to try out, which is a Rowan wool. Here it is. And this is possibly my all-time favourite colour. I love pale blue. It's coming up probably quite accurate. Maybe it's a little bit of a warmer blue than it's showing on camera, but I love this colour and everything about it. It's called Rowan Brushed Fleece. I have got the ball band still. Rowan Brushed Fleece, and it is 65% wool, 30% alpaca, and 5% polyamide. And it's, I don't know how much you can see, it's got just a really nice fluffy halo. I was sent 2 balls of this. They're 50 grams each, and I've used just over 50 grams to make this adult size hat. And I should have been able to, I should try it on for you, but I've really helpfully done my hair in a sock burn. I'm not sure if it will fit over the top, and who knows what I'll look like afterwards if I try. So I won't be trying it on. You can just use your imaginations. But I excuse me, I have done crochet cables before, but I haven't seen a pattern like this before where the cables decrease up to the top. So I had to try it. I had it in mind. It's only really recently come out, this pattern. And I love that this bottom part looks like knit. I think I'm a frustrated knitter. I just want all my crochet projects to look like knitting. I should probably just knit. So yeah, Rowan Brushed Fleece, Kimberly Lakeside Loops, Finley cable hat pattern, dream come true. I love them. I might try and make myself some mittens. Now I know how to do the cable. I feel like that could be a good mitten size, or maybe fingerless glove. Yeah, I'm totally ready. As you can see, bright sunlight. I've actually just put up a huge board against this window today because it's so bright. There's still bright sunlight. It's really nice and warm here today, but I'm gearing up for autumn. Is anybody else nearly ready for autumn? So they can wear all their nice knitwear and crochet wear. the pattern calls for worsted weight or Aran weight yarn, I think. This, although Rowan tell you to use a 6mm hook, it's actually quite, I'd say, a chunky yarn. So I ended up making I always do this, and you probably shouldn't follow suit, but because it hasn't worked in some instances. If anybody saw my the jumper I tried to make for my daughter, or I'm trying to make for my daughter, last episode, I tried to use a bigger yarn and the smaller size in the pattern in order to circumvent the issue that the yarn was too big for what was called for, and it didn't turn out so well for the jumper I'm making. It's massive, but for the hat I think I've got away with it. So I made the small size in the pattern, which is actually supposed to be for, I think, like 6 to 12 month olds, but because the yarn is bigger, it's worked up into an adult size hat. So I basically just did it by sort of trial and error. You make the band first. So I made the band and just kind of kept measuring to see when I thought it would be the right size for my head. So there we go. If you have time to play with, then definitely recommend the pattern, and this yarn is just beautiful too. I haven't looked, I don't know what other colours the brushed fleece comes in, but this is a new yarn from Rowan that I got via Hobbycraft, and I definitely recommend it. I maybe wouldn't make clothes out of it myself. I think I would find it, if it was, I don't know if it's, I'll just rub it on myself. I don't know if it's, I wouldn't say it's itchy, but it's, I think if it was the vast expanses of it on your skin, I think I would find that slightly itchy, but as a hat, it's gorgeous. I will probably make, I almost certainly make this pattern again. It was really quick to make up, and I was going to say something else about it. Oh yeah, when I posted on Instagram, a couple of people said, can you talk about crochet cables in your podcast, because we want to know more about crochet cables. So crochet cables are a lot more simple than they look. Essentially, this is a paid for pattern, so I can't tell you exactly how it's done, but when you're working your normal crochet stitches, obviously normally you work into the top of the stitch, but there is also what we would call the post of the stitch. So not the top part, not the front loop, not the back loop, not even the frontmost loop, but the actual body of the stitch. Crochet cables are made by working stitches around the posts of stitches in the rows below. And then all this fancy footwork is essentially just working in a certain order. So you skip a couple, do a couple, work backwards. So it's a little bit of a, if you're not used to it, maybe it's a little bit of confusing to start off with, but I think actually for the effect you get, it looks more complicated than it is. So definitely try crochet cables if you haven't made them before. And yeah, actually as crochet cables go, this was a really simple, there's only one type of front post stitch. So there we go. That is my finished object, sort of, for this week. I've made a pom-pom, and I made a pom-pom out of this gorgeous Film Noir flock-on yarn, which is really sort of wild and hairy, and actually this is really soft. Maybe I should have just made a hat out of this. But I thought that when I made a pom-pom out of it, the pom-pom would be like a bit wild and hairy too. Actually, the pom-poms come out just quite neat, and I suppose there are a few, you probably can't see on my camera because I don't have a zoom, but there are a few sort of threads and things coming off. I kind of wanted, like, because this is really thick and chunky and woolly, I kind of wanted the pom-pom to be a little bit rustic and wild. And I'm not really sure if I've achieved it, but do you think pom-pom yay or nay? As if it's a question. I feel like pom-pom should always be added if it's a possibility to add them. There we go. That is my finished object. And there's only one this week, I'm afraid. but I have talked about it for quite a while, so we'll move on. New things. I have a few new things. One of which I'm going to show you first was just a little bit of an experiment that happened yesterday. I at one point was selling kits for my Lottie Albert rainbow blanket, and I decided that I would, I just bought up quite a few crochet hooks, 20mm crochet hooks, in order to sell. I'm not really doing kits anymore. If anybody really wants one, I can still put one together, but I'm essentially lazy and time strapped, and just getting to the post office for me is not as easy, and I was making them to order, so I would have maybe like 1 or 2 kits in at a time, but then if I had a rush on them, I'd have to go out and buy the yarn. So I've taken them down from my Etsy shop at the moment, kits wise, but I still have quite a few of the hooks left over, and I don't really know why, but I got it into my head that it might be fun to spray paint them. So this is what's happened. I don't know if you can tell on camera quite how neon this is, but this is a neon spray painted crochet hook, 20mm, and this might be a little bit harder to see, if you can see in the sunlight or in the, this one is glitter. How fun are they? So the original colour is this kind of grey, and I mean, who doesn't need a neon 20mm crochet hook in their life? So I posted on Instagram yesterday and just said, have fun of these. I have about, 6 or 7 more. Does anybody want one? And oh my goodness, it turns out loads of you want one. So that's this afternoon's job, spray painting more crochet hooks, because I've sold them now that I have. But if anybody watching this fancies himself one, then I can really easily get some more and spray paint some more. They also had a neon yellow in the shop and maybe a green, so I think it would be really fun to play around and see what else we can do. And also clearly neon plus glitter. Neon plus glitter. I feel like that's gonna happen. I feel like it would be silly not to. So that's I'm gonna count that as a new thing. New crochet hooks, reinvigorated crochet hooks, coming your way if you've ordered one, and can be coming your way if you want to order one. Drop me either a comment, or if you direct message me on Instagram, that'd probably be the best way. That's how I have been taking orders yesterday. Sorry if I just knocked the camera. The other new thing that I have this episode is, and this is really exciting, I mentioned last time I had signed up for a tea and yarn club by my good friend, I said I've never met her, my good friend Becky over Hook's Sake on Instagram, and it arrived yesterday, and oh my goodness, I was having one of those days where nothing drastic had happened, but equally nothing was going right, and the kids were playing up, and I was tired, and I just felt stressed. I don't even know why. I didn't have a reason particularly to feel stressed, but I just felt stressed. And yeah, it was just one of those days when nothing goes right, everything goes wrong. And then this arrived. I was gonna have a sip of my tea, but I'll show you this first. Oh my goodness. This is just, I have no words for it. Look how beautiful it is. Now, I don't know if you're like me, but you sign up for like a mystery yarn club, there is always a risk, isn't there? I mean, I love Becky's stuff that she does with Over Hook's Sake, and I have bought some of her yarn before. I bought some really bright yarn for socks, which I've shown on here before. So I kind of felt fairly certain that I was going to love whatever it was that she made up, but I love this. It's like a really pale lilac, and it has, how well you can see, these like bright flecks of neon green in, as well as sort of like a kind of browny black speckled colour. I wouldn't even know where to begin to dye yarn like this, and it is gorgeous. I love it so much. She's called it Not Your Grandma's Lavender. I think that's what she's called it. Not Your Nana's Lavender. I should know that. I had a Nana. My mum is called Nana to my kids. Not Your Nana's Lavender. And she says, so it's if you didn't watch last time, it's a tea and yarn club, which is A, the most British thing you've ever heard, and B, the best thing you've ever heard of. So tea and yarn, two of my favourite things. That's why I signed up. The tea that she sent is Wonderleaf tea, loose leaf tea blend, lavender Earl Grey, which again, Earl Grey is like my favourite, and I have never had loose leaf tea before. That's not a very British thing to say, is it? And I don't know what I expected when she said it was tea and yarn. I think maybe I just expected like a few sachets of tea. So this blows my mind. There's so much in here. I'm not trying to like promote it to make you go and buy one, because I think it's going to be an every other month thing. I'm just love it. I just love what's happened here. Love everything about this. And she sent this really cute little note, like explaining about the yarn, explaining about the tea. She said Wonderleaf Teas is soon they're opening a tea house in Northumberland. So there you are, if you're near Northumberland in the UK. So yummy. It's Earl Grey with lavender in it. I equally, when it arrived, I suddenly thought, oh no, hang on, I do not have the means to brew loose leaf tea. Helpfully, I've still got my spoon in it. Look what else came. Can you see? Can you see this little guy in here? He is a tea infuser. How cute is that? I'll see if I can lift him up. You feel his little trousers up with the loose leaf tea, and then his little arms hook over the back of your cup, and amazing. And honestly, it's really yummy. I should probably take him out. He has been sat in there for quite a while. But yeah, so that just cheered me up. I'm trying not to drip tea everywhere now. I was having a stressful day. And then, yeah, the postman came in the afternoon and brought me yarn and tea. So thank you so much, Becky. Thank you for your beautiful yarn. I don't know what I'm going to make yet. I did do a really nice pattern yesterday on Instagram. I think it's a Dutch designer that I've discovered, and again, a lot of her crochet patterns look like they're knit, but she had some really beautiful mittens on there, which said they used fingering weight yarn, so that might be a possibility. Or I might make some more socks. I've got some variegated purple minis, which might go quite nicely with this, which I got in my last Fibre Share, which I should have brought down, but so I might pair one of those up and make something. What do you think I should make? Should I make socks or mittens? I haven't come across, I'm sure there are ones out there, a hat pattern yet that I really love for 4-ply or sort of sock yarn. Does anybody have any recommendations? That might be nice. Another hat. I told you I'm gearing up for autumn. Oh. So there we go. Those are two of my new things. I also got my Fibre Share partner announced, so that's exciting. So I'm going to be putting together my Fibre Share packet, and I got introduced to my buddy as well too, who's going to be sending me yarn, and they have done such a good job of both the partners, because well, not that you have to like exactly the same things, but it sounds like both the girls I've been paired up with, I say girls, hope they don't take that offensively if they watch this, women, yeah, love neons, brights, pastels, sock yarn, indie dyed yarn. Maybe the world just likes those things. So I promise I won't drink tea the whole way through. I'm looking forward to that. That's really exciting. I'm going to be putting that together this month because it's September. How is it September? Oh my goodness. I don't know if anybody else watches the Potter and Bloom podcast or follows Emma on Instagram. I followed her for ages and I've watched her podcast for ages, and she was one of the people that inspired me to film this podcast because yeah, I just loved watching her chat about what she was up to and what she was making. She has a new cowl which literally just started on the 1st of September, which was yesterday, and it is called the Cake Cowl, which already gets a thumbs up because cake, but it is a cowl based on Cotton Flowers yarns. Now again, if you've watched before, you will know I have a slight obsession with Cotton Flowers yarns. There is a gradient yarn cake company based in Germany, and I originally bought, I borrowed this blanket back to show you. I originally bought one for my butterfly blanket that I made. This is like an 8-ply blanket that I made, and loved it so much. I basically just raved about it on Instagram for ages, to the point which the owner of the yarn company contacted me and said, thank you so much for all the love you have spread about Cotton Flowers yarns. Would you like any free yarn? To which I said, yes, of course, absolutely. And again, I have talked about this before if you've watched before. She sent me about 6. So one of them ended up, so generous. She sent me, one of them ended up in my hob cowl. As you can see, it was this sort of dark green. The grey I've put in, but there's kind of the dark green to mint green. That's the Cotton Flowers. And I also did a giveaway and gave away 2 of them because I had so many. I've now started Potter and Bloom's Cake Cowl with this one. So I'll show you how it's working up. It's really beautiful. I don't know if she's calling it a shawl or a scarf. It's kind of bit both or in between. But it's called, and I'm going to get this wrong, the Liula. So essentially, you get yourself a gradient cake, and a lot of people have bought Cotton Flowers. If you haven't started yet, or if you're taking part, let me know. That'd be really exciting. We can compare notes. I'd love to see what colour you went for. If you're not taking part but you still like to, there's absolutely still time. But Cotton Flowers yarn dies to order, so there might be a couple of weeks wait. But if you have any other kind of 4-ply gradient yarn cake, like a whirl, or what others are there? The whirl is the main one that's 4-ply. That would work too. I don't know if you can see the colours on this one very well. It's like a minty green into pink through cream, and I think it looks a bit like a watermelon. The colours are better on this. Isn't it gorgeous? So essentially, here we are, trusty shoulder. You just start, this is the pattern, it's based on a vintage pattern, and you keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, either until it's as long as you want it, or your cake runs out. So I'm gonna end up with pink at one end and green at the other, and I'm really excited. I wasn't really planning on starting this or taking part, and I just thought I have so many Cotton Flowers cakes, it would almost be rude not to. So, I'm going to take this off now, quite warm. So yeah, I started, and actually the pattern is, I don't know how well you can see against the pale background, it's quite addictive. Again, it's a paid for pattern, but she's doing 50% off during the cowl, if you fancy getting it. The details, I'll put all the details to get to her page and all the other things I'm talking about in my description box below. Oh, there we are, you can see it a bit more nicely there. Yeah, but it's one of those patterns where I really love filet crochet for this, so where you chain and make spaces. There's enough change and variety in each row that it keeps it really interesting. And also, when you have colour changes in yarn, that's quite sad, but isn't it? But is that not the most exciting thing? I've been working on a commission, which has been taking up quite a lot of my time, so I shouldn't really be starting new projects, but I started this the other night and I've worked on it just for an hour or two and a couple of evenings, and I'm like, oh, I need to keep going, I need to keep going, I need to get to the colour change, and I don't think I'm that far away now. So at the moment I'm in solid pink, and the way the yarn works is there's 4 strands on this. Like I said, it's 4-ply, and it changes sort of 1 strand at a time. So I'll get to a point soon where I'm working with 3 strands of pink and 1 strand of cream, and that's how you get the really lovely gradual colour change, like you can see here. Isn't it beautiful? Still one of my favourite ever makes, this blanket for baby Luna. So yeah, that's a new work in progress. I'm excited about it. I don't know if I'm going to finish in the time. I think it's 2 months, but Emma also mentioned on her podcast this week that because it's been quite not slow, but because some people haven't got their yarn yet, she might extend it. So I think it's supposed to be from the start of September to the end of October. So you've still got bags of time if you fancy joining in, or you have a gradient yarn or cake yarn in your stash that you have been looking to use up. Oh, tea is so good. Sorry about that. I had a slight incident where my board fell down and attacked me. So, giveaway. I've done giveaways on here before. I've done a couple. And I've done giveaways where I've given away a cotton flowers yarn before. And yeah, it's happening again. I hope that's not boring. But here we are. I have lots of cotton flowers yarns. I'm never going to use them all or get through them all. I already have a kind of green to grey. I've used a pink to grey. This is a really beautiful blue to grey, and I'm sure I would enjoy making something with it, but I think possibly one of you would enjoy making something with it too. So as a thank you to my subscribers, I'm going to do this as a subscriber only giveaway. So if you were a subscriber and you helped me reach my 1,000 subscriber goal, then thank you so much. All you need to do is comment below and say, yes, please enter me into the draw, and I will enter you. I will also post the details of this in my newly created and very sparse and empty Ravelry group, which some of you have joined, even though there's nothing going on in there, so thank you so much. The giveaway will run for, what should we say, I suppose it can't run for too long, because if you want to make the Liula, then you're going to want to make it. So let's say a week. The giveaway will be open for 1 week. I will put all the details below. You need to be a subscriber to enter. You can subscribe today if you really want to win it. That's fine too. And subscribe and comment below to be entered. That's all you need to do. And I will select somebody. It can be open internationally too. You don't have to be in the UK. I am not giving away a copy of the Liula pattern, but I think it's about £3 if you'd like to purchase one too. Or obviously you can use this for whatever you want. It's so beautiful. So there we go. I had in mind that I was going to do a kind of autumn giveaway too, with lots of different autumnal yarns and colours. But then I realised, because I'm doing Fibre Share, I need to sort out my Fibre Share package for my partner first too. But there's a very strong possibility that there's going to still be that autumn yarny giveaway on my Instagram page. So for now, it's a cotton flowers giveaway for subscribers. Comment below and make sure you're subscribed, and you will be entered. And I will draw the draw in 1 week today, on next Saturday, and I'll put all the dates and all of this that I've just said below. So there we are, that's my giveaway. The only other I mean, I have other whips on other than my Liula. I still have my oversized box jumper that I'm making. I still have my Atomic Flowers blanket that I'm making. All the other things that I'm making are still going on, but because I've had this commission, that hasn't really been much progress made. So I won't bore you with showing you stuff that's not had much advancement made on it. I won't bore you with that today. The only other thing that's work in progress is going to show you is another one of the amazing new yarns. Sorry that it's all wobbling. That Hobbycraft sent me is crash bang wobble. This amazing, seriously chunky yarn from Bernat, is that how we say it? That's not the ball band. Where's my ball band? Bernat blanket big. Wow, and it is big. They've got a picture here of a poof that's made with it. I think this uses about 5 balls. I only have 1 ball in the grey that Hobbycraft sent me. And it is so soft. It's almost like kind of chenille, if that's a international product term. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's so soft, really, really soft. And I obviously knew I wanted to make something with it, but I wasn't sure what. And I have made something with it, but it is not quite how I want it. So I will show you, but we're going to class it as a work in progress. Because I had 1 ball and I knew I probably wouldn't have enough for sort of like a big poof or anything. I thought about making a cushion, but you know, I felt like this amazingly gorgeous chunky Bernat blanket bag deserved a higher purpose than a cushion. So I decided I was going to make a rug, a little rug for my son's bedroom. And I decided I wanted it to be a cloud rug. But this yarn calls for a 25mm hook, and I only have 20mm. That's the biggest hook size I have. So I thought, well, that's okay. I'll just try and work it really loosely. But I am by nature a really tight crocheter, and so I've ended up with, I mean, can we even call this a rug? It's more of a rugette at best. It would maybe look kind of cute on his wall, but what I've done is I've ordered myself a 25mm hook and a 30mm hook, because I think that I have got some yarn left. This looks so attractive like this. This is really tight. Can you see how tight it is? And I was sort of struggling to work the stitches and do it. So I have ordered a bigger hook. I'm going to try it with the 30mm, and hopefully I'll get a looser stitch, and then also a slightly bigger rug. So it's still going to be a mini rug, but how cute is this? This is literally just a little motif, of which I can share the details if anybody's interested, which if you worked it up in like DK would only be about this big, but just by nature of the fact that the yarn is so huge, that little motif works up into a really cute little cloud. So yeah, if you fancy yourself some quick crochet, Bernat blanket big, looks like some kind of scary dreads or something, is the way to go. There we are. So yeah, I'm in the process of decorating their rooms. I mean, we've moved into this house a couple of months ago and everything is just white, which is great in a lot of respects, but I would like to put a bit more colour in, and I'm thinking for my son's room a little bit of a kind of, well, a little bit of a like monochromatic colour scheme with a few pops of colour. So a soft grey little rug I think would be really sweet. So yeah, maybe next time, hopefully next time my hooks will have arrived, and we'll see if we can work it up into something slightly bigger. But one of my friends on Instagram, No Way Crochet, Kim, has made a blanket using 2 balls of this in the mustard colorway, which looks really nice. She did a really, I'm not sure what stitch she did, but she did a really open weave, and yeah, it just works up so quickly, as you will know if you've made any of my sort of super chunky blankets. And that size hook, I mean, this took all of 10 minutes, so I imagine you could almost do a blanket in an evening if you had a couple of balls of this bad boy stuff. It's literally just unraveled everywhere. I haven't got quite the same mess on the floor as I ended up with last episode, but there's quite a mess on the floor. That's another work in progress. That's the category we're in, work in progress category. Last but not least, I've done my finished object, I've done my new things, I've done my giveaway, and I've done my works in progress. I'm going to show you some of the other yarns that I have been sent, because Hobbycraft and KnitcraftHQ have sent me more yarn, and I have basically a craft room, and I have a yarn cabinet which is full of yarn. I'm not complaining, but I'm running out of place to put it. There's so much. I'm hoping it's just because I've recently been asked to be a Knitcraft ambassador, which basically means I get sent free yarn. I'm not being paid for it, and they kind of, you know, ask for a little review or ask for me to share what I think about it, and maybe, you know, talk to you. They're not insisting, but, you know, if I want to talk to you guys about it, then they're happy for me to do that too. And they sent, if you watched last episode, a massive parcel of all the new Knitcraft yarns, which I talked about in some detail. And then like 2 weeks later, they sent me another massive package. So I don't think that that's going to happen every 2 weeks, but it's happening at the moment, and I'm cool with that. That's fine by me. This package was so big, and I blame the Burnett, really, that it popped open, and the Royal Mail may or may not have lost some. I don't know. I'm not going to blame them or name names, but it popped open. I had to go to my local sorting office to collect it because it was deemed sort of like a damaged package or whatever. And yeah, there was basically so much yarn. That's a good problem to have, right? Sort of a champagne problem, or first world problem, some people call it. So I had the Burnett Big, and I had the Rowan Brush Fleece that they sent me. They've also sent me 5 balls of this Rico Fashion Alpaca Dream. Oh my goodness. Have you seen this colour? Mustard. Who doesn't love mustard? It's such a big colour at the moment, isn't it? And I haven't made anything with this yet. I haven't started. These are 50-gram balls. It's, oh, there's all sorts of different languages. 64% virgin wool, 30% alpaca, and 6% polyamide. So really similar to the Rowan Brush Fleece, actually, but it's got a very different feel, and it's got a very different look, and also a very different, sorry about the bright sunlight and how much you can see, a different construction. It's almost like it's plaited or like in chains. I'm so technical. You only get the best reviews here. So yeah, I have 5 balls of this. So I don't know what that will make me at 50 grams. Maybe like a really gorgeous cowl, or would it make, I probably wouldn't make a jumper, would it? Maybe if it was something really loose. Anybody got any suggestions? Alpaca mustard gorgeousness. And then the other yarn they sent me, which I have 10 balls of, is another Rico yarn, and it's called Luxury Magic Mohair, and it is silver sparkly mohair. Wow, I think a Christmas jumper, maybe? It's got a really lovely fluffy halo, as you would expect from mohair, and it's quite soft considering it's mohair, considering it's got glitter basically woven into it. Sorry, that's just upside down. So yeah, I will, this surely has to be some kind of Christmas jumper or something. But isn't it beautiful? I think maybe I just leave it all here as an instalment. I'm sure my husband won't mind that at all. And last but not least, they sent me a twist on a classic. So that's not the tagline, that's just me saying that. Oh God. Can you tell I've been talking for 40 minutes now? This is Caron Simply Soft with a twist, and the twist is it's tweedy. Can you see? It's like a tweedy Caron Soft. Simply Soft. Isn't that nice? They've got a picture here. I think these are the other colourways, like grey and cream, but this is like a brownie colour with flecks of very natural kind of greys and creams and blacks in there. Isn't it nice? I feel like this might end up being a Finley cable crochet hat for my son. In a nice brown. I don't really use brown that much. But I think, yeah, I think this might make nice mittens. Or the pattern from very intensely leaning forward. I did a book review a few episodes ago, and I reviewed Kat Golding's Crochet at Play, and I shared a picture of some hedgehog bobble mittens that I had made. I feel like this would make really good hedgehog bobble mittens. It's what is this, maybe a worsted weight or an Aran? What does it say? Medium 4, 5mm crochet hook. So it's slightly, it's thicker than DK, but I think that would make some really cute bobble hedgehog mittens or cabled mittens or something for my son. So there we are. Caron Simply Soft. Rico Apple Dream. Rico Mer Hedging. Bernay Big Blanket. Rowan Brush Fleece. Oh my goodness, there's so much yarn in my house. As I said, it's a very good problem to have. This will be one less thing in my house after the giveaway. So there we are. That's a plus. A plus for you and a plus for me. Who would have thought I get to the point where I'm actively trying to give away yarn in order to reduce what I have in my own house. That's about all that I have to talk about today. I hope that it hasn't just been a long-winded ramble. I know I always say that. I did go out for dinner with my husband last night, and I did have a couple of large glasses of wine. I don't know if you can tell. Maybe I'll have time for a nap in between spray painting my yarn hooks before they come back from the farmer's market, but that's very ambitious thinking. So there we are. That's life. That's a little slice of reality of my day. I hope you enjoyed seeing all the things that I have been making and buying and drinking my gorgeous tea today. And if you have enjoyed it, then yeah, give me a thumbs up or leave me a comment. I love reading all your comments. I need to get into more of a routine at replying. I'm really good at replying, well, I hope, on Instagram, but for some reason YouTube comments, I suppose just because I don't go there every day, I need to get better at replying sort of straight away or the next day or something. But I love getting comments on my videos, even maybe more than, you know, than the likes or the subscribers, although that's obviously really nice. Just, I love the kind of conversations, or I love to hear what you've enjoyed or picked up on. And yeah, I feel like it's more of a like a conversation and a two-way thing when I get comments, rather than me just talking at what is essentially my phone. It's nice to know that there are people out there other than maybe just the postman who turns up every now and again when I'm filming. There we go. And yeah, thank you again if anybody has joined the Ravelry group. I promise that I will start posting in there. I'm going to start an Ask Me Anything thread. So if you would like to know more about anything I've talked about, or if you'd like to know more about me, or maybe my kind of design process, or how I got into crochet, anything like that, then yeah, if you go into the Ravelry group for the Lottie Albert podcast and comment on the thread there, then I will try and work through a few answers each time. And yeah, hopefully next time I can tell you a little bit more about my new job, because it's really exciting. I will be sad to leave where I'm working now, because I've been there for 7 years, but I'm ready for new things. I'm really ready and I'm really excited. And I think that you'll be excited when I can tell you what it is. So until that point, I will leave you. I will see you in 2 weeks' time. I will announce the winner of the Cotton Flowers Yarn Cake giveaway in 1 week's time. And then hopefully if that person would like to join in with the Liula Cowl, then they will still have nearly the full 2 months. And as I said, it sounds like it might go on longer than that anyway. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. And check out the descriptions below if you want to know more about anything I've talked about, or find links to any of the other places I've talked about. Thank you so much for being here. I will see you again in 2 weeks, and have a lovely rest of your day, whatever you are up to. Bye.